In church, there's a song that we sing, and part of the song says, "Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord." But what do you do in the meantime when waiting on the Lord becomes too long? And I know as a Christian in our faith, it says it's God's perfect timing, always, always God's perfect timing. And it is. But what are we supposed to do in the middle of that waiting? Cry out to God, continue to beg, to plead, to ration. Lately, I have been in that space where I have been praying to God to heal my home and to heal the people that I interact with on a daily basis. And that time has not come, and things are continuing to progressively get worse. And I know that God will never leave me nor forsake me, and He's never let me down, never, since I have been walking with Him my whole life. He's always come through in ways that only He can. And I don't know if this is just another testimony that is in the play, or if things are just not supposed to go the way I'm praying for them to go. So I moved into my home about a year and a half ago, and this was supposed to be it. This was supposed to be my forever home. I have experienced loss beyond measures. Because of those deaths in my family, I have had to move for various reasons. And so I have lived in about 6 or 7 homes in the past 18, 19 years. And moving is traumatic. Moving in itself is very traumatic when you don't have stability and you don't know where you're going to be in a year, or you settle in a place for a year and you don't know what's going to happen, especially when you're leasing. There's different variables that could happen. Rent could go up. You may not be able to afford it. Or in my case, my landlord passed away and her kids sold the house. And then the other house I rented, the landlord got divorced. And then another landlord, her house flooded. And it just is out of your control. And so when I was finally able to buy my own home, I was like, this is it. This is where I'm going to live. This is the only address that my family is going to ever know of me from here on out until I die. I'm going to die here. And because I've experienced loss in my immediate family, I felt like I could take out those valuables that I have saved, just the tiny keepsakes that I've saved from those people, my grandmother's quilt, my mom's furniture that she gave me, my daughter's mementos that she had, her shoes that she was wearing on the day that she died, all those things that I had put in boxes for years and years and years because I didn't have a final place. I could finally take them out of a box and be like, this is where I could go to look at those things. This is where I can go to remember those people. This is my home. No one's going to take my home from me. No one's going to die and force me to move. I am in control of my own destiny as far as it pertains to moving. And except I don't know if that is accurate, because my husband has been battling mental health, and his mental health is pouring on to my mental health. And because he is struggling so much in his mental health, I don't know what the future holds. And I don't know if in a week's time, in a day's time, in a year's time, that we are going to lose our home and I'm going to have to pack up and move to an apartment. And that doesn't hurt me because of the move. It hurts because this house was supposed to be it. This was it. This was my place where my kids were going to come visit me, where my grandkids would come and learn to swim in my backyard, and my future generations were just going to be able to be like, oh, I remember going to grandma's house and doing these things. And I don't know. I have been so diligent in praying to God and asking God to heal my home and to give me the strength and to heal my husband. And I know that he's talking to me, and I know that he is giving me Bible verses to hold on to. But at the same time, I am so tired. This morning, I cried out to God and I said, this is not the life that you promised me. This is not how it's supposed to be. This is not the marriage that I prayed for. This is not the life that I wanted. Like, when do I have to suffer? How much more do I have to suffer? How much more do I have to prove that I'm faithful, that I love you, that I'm never going to leave you, that, fuck. And I'm just being real. My relationship with God is as if I'm talking to you. I just keep it 100 because I don't know how to be fake. All I know how to do is express my feelings. And so I don't know when it ends. And today, while I'm praying, while I'm trying to work, while I am just trying to keep busy and focus on just getting the tasks that need to get done today and not focusing on my husband's mental health or what my future looks like or what our next move is going to look like or if we're going to be able to stay in this house. The way the Lord speaks to me usually is via song, or I'll get a song in my head or a Bible verse. And today I was just taking a shower and that song, Strength Will Rise as we wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord, our God. He reigns forever. Our hope, our strong deliverer. So if you're in the same spot and you feel like the Lord is not listening to you and the Lord is not showing up on time, as a reminder to myself and as a reminder to you, God didn't bring us this far to bring us this far. And we don't know what he's doing in the background, and we don't know the circumstances that he has to fix in order for us to move forward. And we don't know what he's pouring into somebody else's life, and in my case, what he's doing with my husband's mental health and with my mental health. All we know is the prayers of our heart. And I know that in Mark, it tells us, you pray with authority, you thank God, you tell God. And in Matthew, it says, ask and you shall receive. And this morning, I cried out to God and I said, I've been asking you to heal my home for over a year. And I am so tired. I can't do it anymore. I quoted that Bible verse to him and I said, you said, if I ask, I will receive, knock, and the door will be answered. But that's not true. Because you see, I prayed that prayer for the first time when the Lord took my daughter. And she was only 11 and there was nothing wrong with her. But I continued my walk with him because he is a great God. I just don't know. I need him to show up today. So my message to you is that even though we're struggling and even though we can't see what the Lord is doing, and even though we continue to cry out to God and we feel like our prayers are falling on deaf ears, I know he hears us. It's just as I was reminded that strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. I want you to be reminded of that too. And we have to hold on to his promises because what else do we have? So thank you for listening to me when I feel like I have no one else to listen to.